There's a lot that could be said with regards to No Man's Sky's years of pre-release footage and recent reception, but I'd just like to talk about my time with Hello Games' recent product and nothing else. While the game is said to have additional content planned to be included in updates in the future, my time with the title was with version 1.09 for reference. No Man's Sky starts you off crash-landed on one of its 18 quintillion plus generated planets, tasking you with finding elements to repair your ship for takeoff while gathering resources to help you survive whatever the planet's climate happens to be. You start off with a jetpack that refuels itself automatically with time, a scanner that shows you some nearby items of interest, and a mining laser to collect the resources you need. It's pretty difficult to not feel immediately overwhelmed. While there is some direction, you'll likely have many more questions than answers. And that's actually kind of fun. You'll shuffle about, shoot some things to gather resources, scan other things, and maybe give them goofy names. It's hard to put a finger on it, but it's kind of gripping to just get dropped off in some weird-ass place and get told, "Here's some things, fix up your ship, bye." I pretty quickly figured out what I needed, took off in my ship and landed somewhere else, and worked my way toward the next few vague carrots the game dangled in front of me. I actually didn't pay attention to this game pre-release, part of why I don't feel I'm qualified to talk about all the recent hullabaloo, so I had no expectations or idea of what the game is or was supposed to be. I've also never dabbled in other survival games like this with resource management, so these hooks were new and interesting to me. Eventually I wound up hitting a weird kind of zen with taking off in my ship, landing, gathering resources, maybe identifying a new type of plant, uploading data about a place I had quote discovered, then setting off to repeat my process. I was on a planet with a species called the Gek, and I found out that I could learn their language, one word at a time, through various computers and ancient stones across this world I had wound up on. I'd stop in at every outpost, chat up every Gek I could find, do my best to decode old signals to find upgrades to my gear and ship, and I just kinda zoned out and did this for hours. I ran out of inventory space for things quickly, so I could never really take use of those numerous upgrades I was finding, unfortunately. I always had to keep a bit of carbon on hand for my life suit and mining laser, and plenty of plutonium to ensure I could always achieve liftoff in my ship. I went from mining gold to running by it because I didn't have the space for it, and didn't want to use the carbon to mine it, when I'd rather use that carbon to power my essentials. Not that I ever encountered a lack of carbon, mind, but plutonium was rare and took up most of my space since I hoarded it whenever I could find it. Granted, that's on me, but expanding inventory just didn't seem to be easy. I got one better multi-tool after hours of searching around, which only granted me a few extra upgrade slots, and I found 3 suit upgrades which incrementally charged more and more currency, each only granting 1 additional slot. I found a wrecked ship somewhere, and after spending an hour trying to gather everything to get it into flying condition, I found that despite being a much larger ship than the one I was using, it only had 1 additional inventory slot. I felt disheartened, but I took flight anyway. Then I realized that even with the boost button held down, its top speed was slower than my last one. After putting all that time into making that ship work, it finally broke to me that I wasn't enjoying the grind of No Man's Sky anymore. Aimlessly wandering this planet had left me feeling empty. It's doubtful that anything on 98% of the available randomly generated planets would fill that void. After playing, I checked out some other people's impressions, and it seems everyone generally feels the same. When there's clear, direct aim, i.e. repair your ship, people enjoy No Man's Sky. The grind made sense if you hadn't worn into dull repetition yet. Eventually, you're tasked to make a warp drive. Who playing a game like this doesn't want to make a warp drive and use it? So you do that. Then direction gets vague. Ascend to the stars. Huh? Didn't I kind of do that already? I'll just stick around here and really get intimate with the planet just to see what I'm missing before doing that, I thought. The game really seems to want you to planet hop quickly early on. I wanted to see what I was missing. What I was missing, it turns out, were a few general molds of buildings pasted over and over across planets. Sometimes housing just one member of an alien species, who I'd have a quick exchange with as they were generally requesting elements. Then I had to hope I had deciphered their alien language well enough to know what they wanted, so I could increase my standing with their species. But why should I increase my standing? The most notable change I could immediately notice was how happy they were when I got close to them. Nothing interesting really seemed to happen as a result of me learning 40 words of their language and getting to Gek standing 8. whatever that meant. If I left this planet, how long would it be before I met another Gek anyway? Were there even other Gek off of this planet? Would my standing on this planet carry across all over the 18 quintillion planets with Gek on them? Questions like these weighed on my mind up until I got into that larger, slower ship. Ultimately, I had rented No Man's Sky, so I didn't feel burned from a loss of personal profit or years of vested hype for the game. I just returned it, said, huh, and that was about it. I wished I had more of a connection or attachment to it, and perhaps with the planned content that may come down the road, I can revisit No Man's Sky and get an experience that has a more lasting effect on me. For now, I'll remember the game as one with nothing really interesting to do, in a universe that should be brimming with things to do. A game with decent presentation values and pretty neat music. A game of pointing lasers at objects to extract their being, while unexplained flying orbs shoot at me for reasons unknown. Seriously, there's so much carbon here, why is that thing shooting at me anyway? While we're here, as a nitpick, I'm really not crazy about having to hold down buttons to confirm menu choices all the time. Anyway, would I recommend No Man's Sky? If you love repetition and are okay with an incredibly slow grind, at this moment in time, No Man's Sky is for you, I guess. If you're worried that the above problems will bore into your mind too, then I'd advise you to explore elsewhere for entertainment. This has been MykonosFan. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time with Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time, on Learning to Love PlayStation. This video was generously supported by the following Patreon producers. Thank you.